We asked some of the key stakeholders in the Kajjansi Junction program about their experience, their challenges and lessons learned, and how they see the future after the program ends.
My name is Lukwago Geoffrey. I'm the town engineer of Katabi now, but way back I was the town engineer of Kajjansi Town Council. I happen to be the coordinator for Kajjansi Junction program on the Kajjansi side, and my experience with the project was a bit good because I happened to learn a lot of things, a lot of new things. I interacted with a lot of people. My capacity was built not only in engineering but also in how I can add engineering. I can add value to my engineering works and maybe add economy in my engineering works, including policy making. How do I include community people? How do I mobilize all stakeholders to ensure that the success of the project is achieved?
There are a number of things that we've got. First part of the achievements that we realized, capacity building, good capacity building. Here, the part of the training that we got in Kajjansi, both here in Kajjansi Town Council, and as we went abroad to the Netherlands, at least we got some training as pertains to the implementation of the program. We made friends, that's it. We moved and we went to the Netherlands and learned some new programs. We learned how they do their things there, waste management, how they are doing it, the transport bit in terms of roads. We saw some plastic pavers in some roads somewhere. So we thought that if all goes well, we can translate what we saw the other side and then bring it here. During the inception of the program, we never anticipated that the pandemic will break up.
I would like to visit that place there because I need to know. You cannot talk about something that you don't know. You cannot talk about something that you have never seen. I want to visit that place, then I get to know. If I come back here, I'll have known what I'm supposed to tell my people. And if I was the one who went there first, I think I would have started, yes? I would have started something in our Kajjansi Town Council here. But because I'm always just left behind, nothing I can do because I've not seen anything.
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges. For example, coming up with the stakeholders at all time of the project was not really easy, but we tried as much as possible to ensure that we cover that. The project had a lot of technology in it. For example, we were trying to develop a trendy app whereby it had to run with the informal sector. You want to ensure that border people use this app, but again, they are not well versed with the technology. So we had technology drawbacks within the project. Then the second was most of the stakeholders took long to understand the motive and the main aim of the project. So this was really a challenge. It took a lot of time to ensure that we realized the goals of the project.
During the inception of the program, we never anticipated that the pandemic will break up. So it hit us hard. Many of the people couldn't come from across boundaries, like Peter Twende. He couldn't come here because he had a number of things to launch, but he was not able to launch them because of the restrictions. And then too, the other thing that we have realized as a challenge is that the transfer of staff also hit us hard. The transfer of staff. We had a number of people who were here in Kajjansi by then, a number of workers. For example, Engineer Lukwago, he knew this program so much, even better than me. So when he was transferred to another station, there was a kind of standstill there that we faced.
Before even my transfer, this project, this was a learning process and a learning lab. each and every day we were learning new things. And it was a team of people working together to ensure the output is good for the project. But it started way back. They were taking different people at different time from the project, not until they took the main coordinator of the project. To me, it was not good because I'd invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge, a lot of interest in the project. So taking me away before the project comes to an end was really not good, and it really affected my mind. It affected my efforts I put in, and I was demoralized about such a project. But all in all, that had to happen. I had to move and hand over to the other people.
And then the other thing, as a setback, in those previous times, there was a missing link between us, the implementing people, and the Dutch side, the B-Space, whatever. So that connection missed. There was a time when it missed a bit, so a project lagged behind. But as we went on, a number of things were corrected. The linkage was at least improved, and things had to move on. Financial resources also was part of the challenges. Like, for example, for the case of the recycling plant, for the waste cluster, we had to buy land where to put our project, recycling project. And these, when it comes to local governments like this, money is not enough. And the amount of money which is there is always tagged to certain critical programs and activities. So anything that requires huge sums of money, it needs a number of nitty-gritties and bureaucracy to follow in order to achieve, for example, the buying of land. Buying of land here is very expensive. For you to get that piece of land which is required for all those activities to be there, sometimes it's not, it may talk maybe like half of the budget of the department at the end of the day.
Facilitation is very much important because without facilitation then we can do nothing for our people here. Whenever you happen to call people, to invite people to get sensitized about the program, they need money. They cannot come, and if you fail to give them transport allowances, it becomes a problem, plus some eat. So that one is a problem on our side. Now, if we are given that much there, I think we shall handle this program very well.
When I look at the Kajjansi Junction program, it was a unique program for Ugandan programs. For example, in Uganda, we normally want quicker things, but this was a learning process. It was inclusive of every and each stakeholders. We were supposed to move at all the same pace. Yet here, for people to realize and put in more effort, they need to see visible things at a quicker speed.
In future, I think a synergy has to be created between the different stakeholders, and I think there's a lot to learn, because the environment here, for example, can I say Wakiso, but in Africa, may be somehow different. How things are done here is a bit different from that side. I think there's a prior study that should be taken to understand the dynamics of this particular area in order to have a clear breakthrough.
I thank all the people I worked with on this project. They were too caring, they were advising people. They got me the way I was, and they changed my thinking. Right now I think differently about how cities move, how necessities of people move. sometimes what we call somebody's problem could be something else. So it's better you analyze the real cause of the problem before you try solving it. That's one thing I want to first appreciate about this project. Then second, maybe I call upon the organizers. If there is another project of this kind, it's better to sometimes set up some quick achievable goals so that people can really see that this project is going here, and this can motivate them and put in more efforts.
This one here cannot burn from thanking the Dutch again for the work done for us here and changing our Kajjansi Town Council, because some other town councils and municipalities will, I think, always just come to benchmark, yes? But it will have been done by the Dutch. I thank them. I understand if that one is completed, people will have jobs, yes? We have many things that will change if that program is completed. Therefore, I ask the Dutch politely with a compassion to help us, because we don't have money, and yet the program is very, very, very good.
I made quite a number of travels, not only the Netherlands, but also to China and other cities, simply because of this project, because I understood the project and people were inviting me to do a presentation. I was invited to Makerere to give presentation to people on how cities and urban development is organized in cities, and how an urban city can sustainably move. So it was really good for me. I felt like a celebrity being called everywhere to ensure that I teach people about the urban planning, yet I was an engineer.
I would rate that it is a project worth upscaling to other areas for people to know how we can start small to solve problems and even improve our communities from a planning perspective, and working together as one, as a family that can deliver services in the urban sector.